Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing coming to you with another tutorial. Today we're going to be making this really cool removable ephemera piece. So I ran into some issues with some recent journals that I've been putting together where I've got writing spaces in my journal that are not really conducive to writing. So I'm going to be doing more pieces where you can either put it over the page, or wrap around a page with a paper clip, or Velcro onto a page. So this is one that we will Velcro on. So it does have this writing space on the back, which is nice too because the Velcro is just going to be going in the corners. So I thought I would go ahead and make them that way. I didn't put the Velcro on right now until I get ready to put it in the journal because that doesn't make a lot of sense. I do follow it. I can see that the fan is spinning here, but it's hot in here. So so this is what she looks like. I'll show you the template in a second. It makes it look like this is seamless, but it is not. So boom, we open up. We've got this little circle flip out with a writing space. We've got another flip out writing space here. And then we've got this little one that's over this. I've got a vellum pocket with a little belly band, and then this little writing space that just slides on there like that. We've got 2 cards in the vellum pocket and 2 cards in the larger pocket, which will make more sense in a second. So it just Velcros there. So that's the first one. This is the second one I did. I really loved how this one turned out. So again, she's Velcroed down, writing space, and then we've got writing space on the circle, which I thought was really fun. And then we do have to be a little careful. It's a little bit weak. It could maybe do with the hinge. I just couldn't quite figure out how I wanted to do a hinge reinforcement there, but I might play around with that in the future. 2 cards in the vellum pocket and 2 cards in the larger pocket. And this is just a music page from my stash, my vintage stash that I printed on vellum. So that is that. And then this always ends up crooked because it moves around. So there we go. Needlework joy and sewing joy. Beautiful. So this is the template. So I put this circle a little bit higher on the template. You could put it anywhere you want. You could also put it on the other side. You could put it on the bottom and have it flip up. Totally up to you. Okay. So we've got the flip out, and then we've got a gusseted pocket. So it is gusseted, so it will hold more. So the base is 5 by 7 so 5 inches by 7 inches. Our circle, I used a 3.5 inch circle punch, doubled, and then when I punched it, I didn't quite go to the end of the punch, which I'll maybe show you just with a scrap piece of paper what that might look like. And then this one is 4 by 4 3/4 with a 1/4 inch score line on whatever side you're going to have hinged. So you could have it hinged on the opposite side. You could have it hinged from the bottom or the top, whichever you prefer. And then our pocket is 5 inches by 6 inches. That is accounting for a 1/4 inch score line on 3 sides. So in this case, this side, the bottom, and this side. And then again, you've got your back. Okay, so those are the dimensions and the way it's going to work. Let me show you what I mean by the circle. I'm going to just grab a small one just to show you here. Just a second. Let me grab a piece of scratch paper, just in case you're not done this before, you can see what I'm talking about. So when you want to make a circle or something and you want it to stay hinged, you would just have your fold here, slide this into your thing, and then see how I've got a little bit there. You don't want to cut it all the way, okay? And then that I would be able to make a circle out of that, like so. So it stays connected. Okay, so that's how I did that. I prepped everything off camera, guys. I've got my eyelet setter, eyelets, circle punch, whale tail tab punch, ink, and a corner rounder, and the Velcro. So this one is for the vintage sewing journal. So I have everything here. I did pick a couple pieces of lace that I might want to use, so I'm just going to set that to the side. And then I've made markings on all these. So if you want to gather your pieces now before you even watch the video, or you want to watch it one time through and then come back and do it, you'll have all the measurements. So you're going to need a vellum. So this is based on my measurements though, okay? This is based on a 5x7 base, a pocket that is 5x6 that's gusseted, a 3.5-inch circle, and so on. And then this piece, yeah, in a 5x6 pocket. I think I said that already. Otherwise, you're going to have to alter your stuff. Okay, so this is the vellum pocket. This one actually measures 5 by 3 7/8, and it's got a 1/4-inch score line on 3 sides. Okay, and then so you're going to need that. And then I have my circle. Again, I used a 3.5-inch punch. It's hinged on this edge. I also cut a strip of paper that's going to go over here and just kind of divide that space. I like to do that. And then we've got another circle. I think this is yeah, that's a 2.5-inch circle, so that'll go on top of that. And then we've got the side flip. So again, it can flip from the left or the right. You could just decide. Mine's going to be on the right. I did not do the scoring yet on this piece, but this piece measures 4 inches by 4 3/4 as per my template. And then the journal cards, I didn't measure them. You could. I like to stagger them, so I always have one bigger than the other, but these are going to go in the large gusseted pocket. You could put more in there if you wanted to, because it is gusseted, it can hold more. So I've got 2 of those. And then I've got my pocket piece, which measures 5 inches by 6 inches. And again, it's going to have a 1/4-inch score line around all 3 sides, not the top. And then we'll put a thumb notch there. And then our base is 5 inches by 7 inches. So I do like the rounding look, so I think we're going to do that. So let me get started on that. So I'm going to go ahead and round. Let's see what we want to round. Well, we're going to round pretty much everything. So I need to keep that on there so I don't lose track though. We're going to round those 3 pieces. We don't need to round the vellum. And we, yeah, so let me round these really quick. Actually, we're going to want to score, no, we're going to want to score this first. So let's start with that rather than rounding. I'm so sorry, guys. So sorry. I haven't done a video in many days, so just a minute. Okay. I've got too much stuff in the way here. I always feel crowded, you know? Do you ever feel crowded? I do. It is Friday, August the 14th. I've had kind of a weird week in terms of just my inspiration level is kind of in the toilet right now. So I thought I would bring you this because I sat and thought about something amazing to bring you. So that's a 1/4-inch on that side, a 1/4-inch on the bottom, and then just keep rotating it. You got a 1/4-inch on the other side. Okay. And then in a minute, we'll miter those corners and such. So let's go ahead and do the score line on here. I'm going to have it flip this way. So my score line is going to go on this side. Okay. There we go. And then that's all of the scoring for now. So let's go ahead and round these corners. Well, let's fold this up first. I'm so sorry again. I'm out of practice. I go to work. I have a training day. Oh, where did I do with my fussy cut scissors? I used them. You know what I used my fussy cut scissors for today? To get all the crud and hair out of the wheels of my chair. My husband came home and he did put something tight in the screw holes of my chair, hoping that will resolve my problem. But I had to use the sticky scissors, my fussy cut scissors, because they got a point on them. And I think I left them out there, so that's okay. So we've got that, so now we can go ahead and just fold on that score line. So the chair is better. It squeaks a little bit, but not like it was. Not with every breath. So it's a great chair, so I really don't want to have to replace it because it's been really good to me. It's very comfy. But yeah, so how are you guys doing? I have been finishing up just the little itty bitty things around the house that I want to still get done before I go back to work. I have a training day on Monday the 18th, and then I don't work the rest of the week. And then I start school on the following Tuesday, I believe. So I still have a little bit more time. So I worked on cleaning out. I've got so many backpacks and purses, guys. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm not a shoe collector because I have plantar fasciitis, so I can't collect cute shoes. But I do have a lot of purses and bags. So I took all the purses and bags down and put them in some bins down in the garage room because they're just always exploding all over my closet. So I did that today and cleaned out underneath the kitchen sink and did some fussing around in here. I ordered another cart for over here that's going to, so I made some changes in the studio where I had to change the shelf that's in front of me, and it's not as wide as my other one. And so the acrylic containers I had on there were too wide and they were tippy. So I have to figure out another solution. So I got another cart that's got the separators right in the top of it. So I'm hoping that that's going to suit me. And so I ordered one. It came today, but the box from Amazon was completely decimated. It looked like somebody had run it over, and it was missing parts. It had such a big hole in the box that the parts probably fell out in the truck. I was so frustrated. It's like, come on, people. Like, and I wrote a note before I packed it back up to ship it back and said, you know, this is really sad because this is clearly a warehouse issue. It was not an Amazon issue because the box was just, you could tell it was aged and it was kind of dilapidated and stuff. It's just like ridiculous. And then I have to, typically when I return to Amazon, you just take the thing. You don't even have to put it in a box. But because of the item, maybe because it's a furniture item, I had to pack it in a box and I'll have to take it back. But so I ordered something a little bit different. And then anytime I can get some extra drawers in here that don't take up much space and will replace a couple of things in here, then I go for that. So yeah, I have another one coming, a different one coming tomorrow. So we'll see. Maybe I'll take some pictures and show you later. But yeah, I talked about it in the studio tour. I'm always looking for ways to make my space more conducive to crafting, and as well as like sorting and storing and all that. I'm always changing things. So I'm going to finish inking these up and I'll be right back. Just my little bit of jabbering chit chat, I always do. I'm behind on my comments too, guys. I'm so sorry. I will get back to you on YouTube and in the group. I just, it's just been a strange week. Went horseback riding with my daughter on her birthday on Monday. And it was really good, but it stirred some things up in me that I wasn't quite prepared for. And so I've been sorting that out this week and just kind of in a little funk. And my body is not liking food very much right now. So I'm trying to figure out what that's about and various things. So this is going to sit on here. Oh, I love that contrast. Look at that. It's beautiful. Woo! I wish that I had put this on the other side, but it's okay. So then this is going to sit here. Okay, so we've got our hinge, and it's just going to go on top of the hinge that's already there. Okay, so I'll just put that in place just so you can see that. And I kind of do like it to kind of cover it kind of makes a mystery there. And then that's going to sit there. And then we need to deal with our circle. So our circle again measures 3.5 inches in diameter. I have a variety of circle punches. If you don't have a circle punch, you could just use something circular like a glass or something with the same concept. You just don't make a line. You kind of mark that a little bit shorter of that fold so that you can get that fold just same as you would with a punch. So you don't need all those things in order to do this. So, and I'm just going to ink the inside of this as well because it's it's writing space. So, and I worked, this week I worked on Wednesday just for a couple of hours, and there's a kiddo that's been in our program for 5 years, 4 years, and yeah, this is probably part of my funk. So Wednesday, when I was there Wednesday, I was realizing I wasn't going to see him again in person. So that was I think that was a little more emotional for me than I expected it would be. And then just kind of getting my mind back into going back to work. I am ready to go back. I feel really agitated, and I need to go back to work. So it's good that it's coming now. So I did round this edge. I'll show you how I did that just slightly so that it would round with the circle. But I'll show you that here. So basically, this is going to go on the opposite side. So it's going to flip this way. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up and put it on here. I love that tone too. I think it's really bringing out a lot of that the gray tones in this. It's covering up that sewing machine too, which is kind of cool. Now we don't want the whole thing on there, right? Because that's a pocket. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this, just leaving about 1/4 inch. So I'll do this slowly so you can see. You can leave a little bit more and just don't put glue on the whole thing, and just cut it about right there. We can use that for a whale tail punch. And so then we're going to go ahead and put some glue in here, but we're not going to go all the way to the edge. I didn't reach for my glue. So we're going to go ahead and just put some glue on here. Again, not covering the whole thing because it's a little bit wide. And then we're going to put that right here. And I do like to have this on here as well, so I can kind of line it up the way I want it to be. And so I'm thinking I want it to be about center. I was debating on that, but I think I do want it to be about center. Okay, just slide that down a little bit. There we go. Just going to remove this just to make sure I don't get any glue where I don't want it, and then just give that a press. Okay, and then make sure that nothing's, and you can trim this off. I mean, I don't know why I made it wider, because you don't want to get glue on that. So I'm not sure why I did that, but you could also put a little bit of a hinge there. But I also thought it would be cool after we put this on to see if we want to add some lace on here. So we've got this lace. I'm kind of going the opposite direction here, sorry. So that lines up to that straight edge, and then I've curved that a little bit. As you can probably see, it's contoured to the circle, but I thought it would be fun to put this on there. So let's do it. Let's do it. We're just going to use the white glue. We're just making one today. I did make a prototype or sample too, but I did not like how it turned out. I can show it to you, but it was not, pardon me. I think it was the papers that I chose. Let me show you that in just a second. Oh, I got my wet glue here. Goodness gracious. There we go. Just like that. But I think it was the papers I chose. They just felt like they were very chaotic. So I will put that one in the reference journal. So that's okay. Nothing is ever wasted. And I loved this image, so I thought that would be perfect there. So we are going to go ahead and just glue that all the way on. Okay. Oh, I need my Fabri-Tac because we're going to put that lace on there. I almost forgot. Okay, so we're going to put let's go ahead and prepare this before I get crazy here. So I think I'd like to go there to there. Okay, which we can navigate here in a sec. So I'm just going to put the glue in the middle-ish. I filled my bottle, so it's coming out really, really fast. So I don't want to waste much of this lace. I think it was a vintage lace I got from a seller on Amazon. So I don't want to waste it. So I want it to go about like that, I think. Make sure she's straight as can be. And then These are not the best scissors. I'm going to reach in and grab my sewing scissors here because those are my sticky scissors. I don't know what I did with my good ones, so they're somewhere. Probably out in the living room or something. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim that off. I actually need to grab a paper towel because I can see some glue there, and sometimes you can kind of press that out and get some of that excess off. So see how we can see that wet through there? So it just helps you so you don't get that little bit of shine in there after the glue is dry. Okay, fingers are not working either. As many of you know, my husband and I and some of my kids went to the beach to spend the weekend with my brother-in-law and his wife, and that was really nice. It was really relaxing. I got to watercolor paint out in the yard, and it was just so not stressful, just so peaceful and so laid back. It's really nice. Be careful when you do that you don't grab your paper by accident and snip that, okay? So that edge is a little bit weird, but there's really not a lot we can do about it now. So we will have to just deal with it. And then now I'll just put some Fabri-Tac on here and fix that since I was premature with the white glue. And then let's see if we can figure out the direction. I think it goes like this, if I recall. I didn't like the busyness on the other one because everything was a print, I think was part of it. So by having the base be a solid or a more neutral background, I think that works really well. Okay, and so now we can go ahead and glue this hinge on this side. I love the zipper in these digitals. I've told you I'm not too upset about her, but some of the digitals images in this kit are really, really terribly AI, and I'm going to be a little bit more picky in the future about that because it's really, really bothered me with this kit. So I'm aiming again for the center, hoping that my circle was actually mostly in the center as well. So let's see if we can check that out first. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to just flip that over and then give that a good press. Okay, get a little bit of extra bulk there, but it's not really a problem. I think I need to cut this off because I feel like it's going to grab and it might be a problem. So let's go ahead and just trim that off. I'm not sure why I even decided to do that, but I mean, the worst that can happen is if it tore off, you just lose your circle, right? Or you could rehinge it in another way. So isn't that so beautiful? I love that. Flip, flip, flip. So gorgeous. Now, you could put a pocket here. We are going to put a pocket here, but we're using vellum so that we won't lose that image. So let's go ahead and glue this onto the base. So I just kind of I spy it. I don't usually have any trouble getting it center. You could go a little high, a little low, or go middle. I'm going to try to aim for the middle. So I'm just going to put some white glue on all of my hinges. And again, I'm just estimating. I'm not going to worry about it. If it's not even, it's not even. Because I can tell it's not even top to bottom, but it is even side to side. So that's good enough for me, I believe. Yep. Okay, give that a press because we did round those corners, which can affect that gusset a little bit. So just making sure that's nice and glued down. For some reason, that's really staying down. I'm not sure why. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't even know if that needs a Velcro. I don't know. I feel like it needs a little bit of glue there though, because let me put a little bit of white glue there. Just see if that'll tack that little bit there. There's made a little bit of a weak edge there. Okay, so I am going to do the Velcro though. Yeah, I like that. I like to be able to keep it closed. So I've got these really low profile Velcro dots. So this is the hard side. So I'm just going to put that on there. And then when I put the soft side on, I just turn it over so sticky side is on my finger. And then just press that down and put a little bit of white glue. Now that means you're going to see that Velcro over here, but I'm not bothered by that at all. Okay, and we don't want to mess with that right now, which I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that right now. Why did I do that? Oh, and I only have 2 cards. I need 2 more. I'll have to do those off camera. It looks like I don't have any 2 off for the pockets, and the reason why I have to do it off camera is because I don't think I have anything here. Maybe that image. Let me look here and see if I've got anything that will work. This is all the sewing. That one might work too. It's a little bit small. Oh, that one might work. It's a little bit bigger. I guess I did have a few here. Because there's no ephemera with this kit. So it's kind of frustrating because you have to print multiple to a page in order to get them to downsize. I'd rather do that than waste the paper. So yeah. So now we're going to go ahead and just see if we can get that to come up. Yeah. No problemo. So see, you do have that dot there, but I'm not bothered by that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put our vellum pocket on. So we need to go ahead and clip those corners. Just miter them so you just come at an angle and then angle out a little bit. Angle in, angle out. And then I find that this vellum, this is the thick vellum that I've linked in many videos. It's very thick and very sturdy. Did I not have my bone folder here? Did I not use it? Oh my goodness gracious, Cara-Renee. I don't know how I lose stuff in such a clean space all the time. It's right there. Oh my goodness. Does that tell you what kind of frame of mind I'm in? It's right by my hand. I know you guys do that, so you can laugh with me. It's okay. It's okay. There we go. Sometimes the vellum, the score lines are not as accurate because it's harder to fold it. So this is going to go here. Oh, it's going to go up here though. So it's going to kind of go into her face. And it looks like I cut it a little bit small. That's okay. I'm debating on a thumb notch. I think I do want a thumb notch, but I need a piece of paper because my punch does not want to go through the vellum. So let me just grab a scrap out of my scrap bin here. All I have to do is just do this. And let me grab my circle punch. This is my 1.5 inch. And then we're just going to make a little thumb notch here. I'm just eye spying to see if I've got it about straight. So pretty. So I don't want it to come down here because I don't want to, I mean, it would be okay if you saw it down there, but I like it to go level with this edge. So, but I can see that we're a little bit short, but that's okay. I pre-cut everything based on my dimensions, so something must have been awry in my mind when I did that. As I was sorting through the trashed package and whatnot. So frustrated. I was not happy with them. I made them know that I said this was a warehouse issue and this is not an okay product to send out to a customer when it's, you know, and it was also really dirty and like it's white metal, but it was covered with like this orange powder, almost like rust, but it wasn't rust. So I don't even know what that substance was. I don't even want to know. So see how that's covering. Now we are having an edge here, which I'm feeling very sad about because now we've got that edge. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put a piece of lace there. problem is I should have cut this before I glued everything on, so I'm gonna have to just try and do it. So I think we're on this side of this little design. So let's give it a shot. That was not even. Goodness. There we go. Let's see how we did. So it's going to kind of go below that line. Yeah, that'll do. You know, as I say, perfection is not at play, and so having that lace show will be really pretty as well. I'm thinking, I feel like it's sticking out there though, so let's just push that in there. Yeah, that's going to help us with that rounding. We had a rounding here, but not a rounding on our pocket, so that was my mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on so it's about to that 1/4 inch score line that we made right here. And I'm just going to go all the way across, and I'm going to go down about the width of the lace onto her. Best laid plans, guys. Even if you plan really, really well, it does not always work out the way that you envisioned, right? So then you just work with it. I'm just making sure that that's even-ish, if I can control that at this point. Again, just pulling up some of that extra glue. My Fabri-Tac's coming out very, very fast currently. And then while we work, well, that'll be open for a sec, so I am going to grab a piece of parchment just to put over that spot so that we don't, in case we accidentally close it for some reason, we won't get that glue everywhere. So, like so. Okay, so now I think I want something there. So let's see, I was thinking maybe we could, I'm going to pull out that pile again and see if there's something else we could put right here. I'm actually thinking this one here. This image, we could easily cut a circle. I do need to cut some of this off because it's a little bit too big. And I'm going to do the, no, that's a heart. Oh, we could do the heart though. No, because it's going the wrong way. Is it? Yeah, it is. That would be weird. The heart would be fun there though. Let me grab my punch. I don't know where the one I was using went. Is it this one here? That I was demonstrating that technique. Let's see if we went too far. Oh man, almost. We almost went too far. I think I want to go down to those scissors here. Barely making it here. That's okay. It's still a circle. Barely a circle. Let's go ahead and do that. And then I want to see, what did I do with the scraps from this gray paper? We could just use some lace. So, because I don't want that to be, it's kind of weird there in the center without something else. So let me grab another piece. Oh, we've got another piece right here. Would that be weird? You know, there's no right or wrong, guys. It's just play. Just play, play, play. If you don't like it, don't do it again, but you don't know until you try. So I'm just turning this again so I can get the angle for my other cut. And going to just snip, snip, snip. Oh my heavens, that was terrible. And then I have this basket of lace that it just sits in one of my lace baskets, and I never tap into it. I'm like, what is up with that, Cara-Renee? Use it. Use it. Okay, so we're going to put this back in place. I just want to make sure that this doesn't get down below this pocket line. So I'm going to pull this up. Okay. So I can control that. Okay. So I think what I'll do is hold my finger on this side and then put my, actually now we're disguising her though. We can't see her because she's all covered up there. Oh, and we didn't do a belly band. That's what we missed. That's what we missed. So could we do that with this? And make a belly band? I completely forgot about that piece. I think it's going to be okay. Let's just, oh, except we're Fabri-Tac. I need to find a piece of paper, guys. Pardon me. Just a moment. I thought I had a bigger piece of this, but I don't. So I'm trying to see if I can make this work. It's been folded here. That's the only problem. So let me trim this up. I think we should be okay. Again, it's been folded, but it's not a huge problem. So I wish I had another piece though, because I think it needs this same pattern. I wish I had not done that. Because now I don't have anything to make there. So, what are we gonna do? Okay, this is gonna have to just be different. It's not gonna have the belly band, that center belly band. That's okay. Let's just put this in the middle. I thought I was so prepared. I get rusty. Do you get rusty if you've not been doing stuff in the studio? I do. I really do. So I'm just going to put that in the middle-ish. Okay. And let me see about words. Where are all of my words? I know they're right here. I just saw them. I've been sorting, so when I sort, sometimes I get confused about what I had, where I put things and whatnot. So there we go. There they are. So we've got this. This is spring words and the quilting sewing stuff. So crafting joy. Could keep it simple, right? Oh, this is a part of a quilt though. I remember now. I cut that. I cut it off. Dressmaker, right there. Dressmaker is one of them for sure. Right there on the end. I like it. I use a little bit of Fabri-Tac. A lot of Fabri-Tac, for heaven's sake. Just aiming for the center in terms of this here. Yep, that looks good. So again, we've got writing space, writing space. There will be 2 journal cards in this pocket. And then these are the 2 images I chose for the other pocket. We're running long, so I'm going to go ahead and just do these off camera. All I'm going to do is round the corners, put a whale tail tab on on one of them, the taller one. And then I'll do the 2 cards for that, but they'll all have rounded corners. But I just don't want to keep you any longer. I am going to stick a piece of parchment in there because I feel... Now, where's the parchment? The bigger piece. Oh, my heavens. There. I'm just going to fold that up like that, just so that we don't have any accidental stickage. So then that's what she looks like. We should probably put a word on here. Let's see if we can find one really quickly. I don't really like the individual words because I feel like they're kind of boring. But I don't know what I did with all of the stuff. And these ones I purchased these ones and I don't really like them. More sewing words. So let's see what we've got here. Anything kind of like magic, prone to wander. Those are all spring stuff. So I'm working on the spring journal, the Anne with an E journal. Oh, here's more. Here's more. Still just words. I guess we could use sewing machine since our image is a sewing machine. Let's just do that, just for the sake of time. I need to take some time and cut these all out. so that I can continue working on these journals without having to cut them as I go. Maybe I'll do that tonight when I go out to the living room. Okay, so I feel like, is it okay to just put it on there without anything? I think I want some of my lace, that lace from Spain, which I keep holding the piece out, but then I can never find it again. So I don't know where I'm setting it, but it's not right there. But I think I'll just grab a piece of this coffee dyed, that really weird, soft, almost feels like snow. Coffee dyed, I think this is a gauze actually, but I like it because it's very, very stretchy. So we can put that right here. Yeah, let's cut some of that off. I'm trying to not grab for my sewing scissors. Okay, but we want that, want to make sure we keep it on the circle. So I'm just going to put some Fabri-Tac here. I'm getting ready to finish the Anne with an E journal. I'm excited about that. I had separated out some of the ephemera, so I thought I was going to have to come back to the videos and start doing more ephemera because I couldn't, I'm like, did I only make this much? But it turns out it was in a different basket because as I mentioned, I've got so many journals to finish that things they've had to be moved and moved because I don't have room. So that looks amazing. I love it. Okay, guys, that is it for today. I hope that you enjoyed the project. Super easy one. Again, I hope that the dimensions helped you. You can always refer to the template that will be pictured. It will be in a picture at the end of the video. So I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.